Good morning and welcome back to my channel. I'm Rebecca, aka the Mobility Mom, and this is my channel, the Mobility Mom. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button and turn on the notification. And if you're coming back, well, welcome back. You have stumbled upon What Do You Want to Know Wednesday, and this is a weekly series that I do where you ask me questions and I answer them. And you can ask me questions either here in the comments, you can hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever social media platform you want, or you can email me. Excuse me. Email me if you'd like. Whichever is easier for you, but the whole point of this series is that you get to ask me questions and I answer them the best that I can. And again, I am sorry about the glare on my glasses. I have yet to figure out where to sit and how to sit so that there's light and no glare. For you tech experts out there that do videos all the time, if you could help me with that, that'd be great. But in the meantime, we are going to just power through. Today's question actually came to me over Facebook. Somebody private messaged me and wanted to know how I got started in my own business on my entrepreneur journey, and why I started it and sort of how I got started and stuff. And I never actually intended to be my own boss. I'll put that out there right now. When I was in high school and through most of my younger teen years and through my high school years, I actually dreamed of traveling the world and being a novelist. I wanted to travel the world and take pictures and learn about different cultures and food. And right, that was my grand and huge dream. And then, as my grandmother was fond of saying, life happens when you're making other plans. And well, I was diagnosed in my teens with a chronic illness, which I talked about in episode 1 and episode 2. And life changed drastically. And so when I was diagnosed with the first part of my chronic illness, I sort of shifted gears and decided I would stay local because I was in the middle of treatments, and went off to college and decided, well, I would become a teacher because I loved children. And at the time, I had been told that children were not an option for me, so I wanted to be around children and stuff. So I went to college to be a teacher. And throughout my early 20s, I studied at college. I went to school and I studied at our local schools here in town and stuff. I volunteered and worked and substituted. And then in 95, the second half of my chronic illness kicked in and life shifted again. And this time it shifted to the point where I was put in a position where any outside job was going to require help from many people, and as asking for help is one of my weaker characteristics, I started delving into things that I could do at home that made a decent income but wouldn't require me to need somebody to drive me places, where I didn't have to kind of work my schedule around theirs, that it would work. And so I started my very first ever business, which was Circle Time Family Daycare. And I opened an in-home daycare. So I was kind of doing what I had studied in college for, but sort of on a smaller scale. And so I was running the daycare, and it started out small. It was just my younger brothers that came here after school. And then that sort of trickled into some of their friends coming, and then their parents talking. And eventually, by the time I was 4 years into it, I had about 10 children, and I had several on a waiting list until I could hire an aide to come in and help me. And so that's how I started. And then in 2000, after many years of being told we couldn't have children, we were blessed with our little miracle baby. And then in 2003, we hit a sort of a bump in the road. I had a really huge health battle that came around, and I'm sorry if I keep looking off camera. My cat is over here like destroying everything. But anyways, in 2003, I was hit with a really bad health scare, and I was in treatment for about a year. And with that, I ended up having to close my daycare. And so throughout all of 2003 and half of 2004, I focused on getting healthy again and getting my health back in issue. And then in 2005, I was sitting at home, kind of bored, not knowing what to do, and I was on the computer, and somebody mentioned about starting a blog. And I thought, no, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that I'm a blogger. And so I got looking into it, and I thought, well, you know what? It'd be fun just to have somewhere to write. And so I opened up my first ever blog on Blogger, and it was called My Crazy Life. And I just posted a bunch of nonsense there. You know, it would be a, music video here or a poem there or whatever. And after about a year doing that, I started getting emails from these different brands and people asking me to sort of do product reviews. And I realized that maybe this could be something. Maybe it wasn't where I thought I'd see myself in my my early 30s and stuff, was sitting at home being a blogger. But I thought, well, I'm going to be able to write. I can create. I might not be traveling the world. I may not be teaching a classroom, but I was writing, and it was something I loved to do. And so I opened another blog, and this one was called Everyday Life. And I started taking it seriously as a business. And as I did that, I started to get, followers. And as time went by, Everyday Life evolved into Teacups and Fairy Tales. And I started to really start putting more of what I enjoyed into it, like writing about travel and Disney and my life and stuff. And consequently, with doing that, I actually started to travel more. And I started going to Disney even more than I had already done on my own personal time. I was also now being invited to events and stuff. And so that sort of spanned into people coming to me to want to plan their Disney vacation stuff. And so in 2018, I went from being just a blogger to being a affiliate travel agent with Academy Travels to plan Disney and Universal and SeaWorld and all of that. And then in the midst of all of that, and really just moving on and doing what I love, writing, planning Disney vacations, doing all that, we got hit by a pandemic, and everything closed down. And it was probably about 3 weeks into the pandemic, I realized, that what started out as something that I did was fun had started to actually become something of a chore. And I realized that I was trying to be all these things to different people, but not really being true to who I wanted to be as a brand. And so in April of 2020, at the very beginning of the pandemic, I scrapped everything I had been doing on Teacups and Fairy Tale. I rebranded to the Mobility Mom, and now here it is a year later, and things are opening up, and I now run a very successful travel business. I plan Disney vacations still, SeaWorld, Universal, and I'm looking to expand into the rest of the world. And I'm doing that because I love, love, love travel. I mean, it makes me happy. And I love Disney. I mean, just whenever I say the word, I can't help but smile because it's that. And then my website is doing very well. It's been redesigned, rebranded. And I also write over there, but I'm writing more things that are more me. I'm writing about, Disney, travel, my life with a mobility struggle. It's more me. I'm not sort of obsessed with it. I'm not like sitting there hours and hours every day. I'm writing what feels good to me and what feels natural to me and what brings me joy, and sharing that with you guys. And so, yeah, that's how I got to where I'm at. So that's how I got here. I sort of rebranded. I mean, it took a pandemic for me to just sort of stop slow down and realize that I didn't need to be everything to everybody. And it really helped me bring my brand to where I wanted it to be, which is very an authentic, very me type brand. You're not going to see a lot of bells and whistles. It's just going to be you, me, and some honest conversations and talking. So yeah, that was my entrepreneurial journey, and that's how I got to be a travel agent and a website owner and a small business owner. And I'll leave my links down in the description as usual, and feel free to come take a look, come say hi, and if I can ever do anything for you, hit me up. Or if there's anything you want to know or you need help with anything, just hit me up. I'm here for whatever you need. So that's this week's question. Hopefully I answered it successfully. Like I said, ask me anything, I'll answer. Until next week, bye. Have a blessed one.